Michael, a Mercedes guy here, and we're going to do a little segment here on jacking up your car. Now, on all Mercedes, there is a jack point at the rear and the front. It's a tube. Now, if you're lucky enough, you'll still have these factory covers, but by now they're gone. So, you want to make sure this is not clogged up with dirt or a bunch of rust, because you want your jack, there's a little boss here, you want your jack to go all the way into the tube. Now, in your car, you should always carry a couple of 2x blocks. The reason being, even though the cars, by the way, this car is on another segment, how I converted this to a roadster and did the paint job. You can check that out if you want. But anyway, get back to the blocks. Even though you put your car in park or in gear and have the brake on, you always want to block the opposite corner tire. So in this case, this is right rear. We're going to block the left front. And you want to block the rear and the front. And you want to do that before you start jacking. Also, before you start jacking, you want to loosen your lug bolts. Now, this is something else that I provide my customers with, and that is an extension for their lug wrench. Because those lugs sometimes can be on there tighter than you like. So with an extension, it makes life a lot easier. Also, 1977 and up cars, if you still have your tool kit, you'll have this handy stud. And what you use this for is, before you put your wheel on, you screw this into one of the bolt holes so that when you put your wheel on, the other holes are lined up. Okay, we saw how to jack up a car with your factory jack. Now I'm going to point out how to jack up a car with a floor jack. You can, for the front, you got two options, actually three. You can either jack up right underneath the A-arm, if you only need one tire off the ground, which is approximately right here, and the A-arm is actually just above my jacking point. Same for the other side. If you want both tires off, you can jack it right in the middle under the engine cross member. And that engine cross member, it's in a different place for most cars. It's always behind the pan. You never want to jack up on the pan. You want to jack up on the actual cross member that's back there. And it's easy to spot because the cross member connects both your front, your right and your left A-arms. So that's the proper spot. Right there. Now, when you let the jack down, you don't want to damage your license plate. So you never have your jack handle under the license plate. When you let your jack down, you want to move your jack so that it doesn't damage your license plate. Okay, now where do you put your jack stands? And you never ever go under a car or put any part of your main body under a car unless it's sitting on jack stands. Not just a jack stand under, but actually lowering your car onto the jack stand. On most of these cars, they're all unibody, so this unibody part right here is where you want to put your jack stand. Same on the other side. And you let the car down to where it's not on the jack, but the jack is still in position. Then you try to shake the car off the jack stands. So you just shake the heck out of it. Okay, now that is safe to go under. If the car's a little wiggly, you got to reposition the jack stands. Okay, for jacking up the rear of the car, it's similar to the front in that on each side you can, if you want just one tire off, jack underneath the A-arm, the trailing arm. Same for the other side. Or you can just jack it up on the differential. Okay, we've got the car up in the air. So where do you put your jack stands? There's a heavy piece of steel right here. It's thicker than body sheet metal. It's pretty tough. And that's an ideal spot to put your jack stand. Again, you drop the car on the jack stands and shake the car to make sure it's sturdy.